is love actually? And what does it mean when you say I love you to someone? We think love is when someone likes us and we like them and we feel good about ourselves. We think we love someone who makes us happy. What if our version of love is really just having our wounds attended to? Let me explain. If you have a childhood wound of being rejected and someone gives you attention, or even better, believes in your potential, you will see that as healing to your rejection wound. Your belief, I am rejected, now gets attended to, so you might be able to receive, I am not rejected, or whatever the opposite of that belief is for you. So when choosing a person to fall in love with, you will always choose someone who you think makes you whole, someone who makes you more than you are, or upgrades you in some way, someone who fills your specific void. So if your core belief is I'm vulnerable, you will choose someone who can protect you. If your core wound is I'm insignificant, you will choose someone who makes you feel more significant. So it's very common for couples to have the same wounds because they know how to fill each other's voids. So during the time that you are in love, that feeling is not about the person at all. It's just about the feeling of being whole. That is what whole feels like. When your void is filled, you don't feel the void anymore and you feel whole. But then inevitably, your negative beliefs about yourself have to prove themselves, and you either sabotage it or you find a way to prove that they still exist, because your new whole feeling is nice, but it's not comfortable for long. Remember that your programming is designed to protect you, and your beliefs about yourself were created to prevent pain in the future. So you're very comfortable with them. You don't want them to go away, even if you think you do. They make you feel safe because as a child, you learned that you can survive in those conditions. You can survive in I am rejected, or I am vulnerable, or I'm unseen. All your coping mechanisms and your survival patterns are designed around survival in these beliefs about yourself. You have evidence that they work. You have evidence that they've helped you survive because you're still alive because of them. You have no evidence that you will be able to survive in this new whole self. It feels great at first, sure, but then it starts feeling really, really dangerous because your patterns tell you that it is. Your brain has gone to great lengths to create these patterns around your beliefs in order to protect you, and it might have worked in the past when you needed it. But now you're stuck in these beliefs and patterns throughout the rest of your life, and now they're just limiting you and they're causing you destruction and unhappiness, and they're preventing you from feeling whole. So you will fight for them and protect them to any degree, because in your subconscious mind, these beliefs help you predict your future, and they prevent pain, even though they actually cause you pain. Feeling this void is not safe. It's just what you used to. So you want to continue feeling it, even though you think you don't. So everything we do is for acceptance and validation, not for love. We use the word love all wrong. Love is the feeling of being whole, the opposite to feeling the void. It's all in ourselves, but we look for it outside of ourselves. And therefore, because it's given, it can be taken away. And now, because we think this person makes us feel so good and makes us whole, we start trying to control them. Because we don't want this feeling of wholeness to go away now. Therefore, we can't let them go away. We've attached the feeling of being whole to the person. We will do anything we can not to lose this love. We become someone we're not. We fit in with who they need us to be. We compromise ourselves. We make ourselves smaller. We do anything just to get them to stay. When our very reason for being with them in the beginning was because we thought they make us bigger. We thought they make them whole. But look at you now. Your behavior as a result of that is making you small. It's making you less. This is also why when we break up with someone, we feel empty and broken, because we believe that they made us more. And now they're gone, we feel like less again. I saw a movie the other day where a woman recently got divorced and now she was ready to go back into the dating scene again. And at one point in the movie, she says, I'm so out of practice with this dating game. And I thought to myself, out of practice? Why do you need to practice to be ready for the dating game? How fake are you trying to be? Do you need to be fake to be in the dating game, to be accepted and validated? And when do you stop being fake? When you're in a relationship, when you got the ring on your finger, When the marriage certificate is signed, at what point do you now decide, okay, I can stop being fake, I can now be myself again? It's like this mentality of, now he's mine and he can't run away. How ridiculous is this mentality that we need to own someone and make them mine? Make them promise to never leave me. What is that? I married myself, don't get me wrong. But in this understanding I have now, honestly can't fathom it. Any agreement that we have with another person is only an agreement until one person decides they no longer want to be in agreement, right? So a marriage is only an agreement until one decides they don't want to be married anymore. Even any contract that we ever sign, it is an agreement between two people, and the reason for the contract is just to stipulate what's expected from each party and to also determine the exit clause, right? But it still doesn't tie you into anything. There's consequences of exiting, but you can still exit. So in a marriage, or even just a relationship, we learn to expect certain things from one another. We expect the other person to meet our needs, whatever that might be. So if you're both coming from a I need my cup full place, both inevitably lose because we both want to take from one another, which puts us both in defense mode. Don't take from me. And this is exactly what activates the patterns that protect us. If we each fill our own cup by healing and making ourselves whole, our defenses can relax and our expectations of the other person dissolves. You no longer need them to make you feel whole. This makes us feel safe to connect and puts us in a space to give without losing ourselves in the process. No expectations, no defenses, no control, no neediness, no patterns, just pure connection. When we listen to one another and we truly care to understand the other person's viewpoints, even if we don't agree with them, our partner feels safe and moves into a space where they can heal and grow. So most fights between men and women is about the woman's worth being in question and the man's respect being in question. So part of healing together is to be sensitive to this and also to try and avoid any other triggers that your partner has. That doesn't mean that you have to tiptoe around each other's triggers. We are each still responsible for our own healing, which involves finding out what your triggers are and then addressing where they come from and healing them, right? But we can make an effort not to purposefully make our partner feel unworthy or disrespected. And when they are triggered, we can hear them and we can listen to them and we can be a safe space for them to express themselves. And we can allow them to feel whatever they feel without taking it personally and reacting with our own triggers. You'll find so much more gratification from having a real and safe connection with your partner than by getting your unfulfilled needs met by them. This is the only way a relationship becomes sustainable, rather than just pure endurance. Any disagreement only becomes a fight when someone's invalidated, when they're made to feel like they're not allowed to be feeling what they feel, or that their feelings are not justified or legitimate. That's when people go into defense mode and when it becomes a fight. So when I say I love you to someone, it should mean I want to see you live in your highest. I enjoy having this human experience with you. I honor your soul's journey and I want to see you being your best self. I want to see you fulfilled and whole. That is what I love you really means.